Well, hello. How are you? It's good to see you again. Anyway, I got to thinking yesterday about Captain Electro's first aid issues and ideas and concepts, and I think that's a good thing, because this was hanging off my mic, and I don't know what it is, but it was disturbing me. I'm already disturbed. But I think we, regardless of anything, a gun, a knife, a sword, how to build a rocket ship, you pass on, you hear things, you pass on ideas, and, we all get a little bit smarter, because of it. It causes other people to think, and that's the biggest thing the human beings have going for them, the ability to think. The most evil part of that is the refusal to think. You can see how that goes. But anyway, he got me to thinking. He was talking about Band-Aids from hell. I do have Band-Aids from hell. I bought Band-Aids from Amazon in bulk. But there was a time when I didn't have Band-Aids. Like, I just didn't. You always seem to run out of Band-Aids, especially when you need them the most. There was a time when I was working, and I nicked my knuckle on a latching flap, and boy, that thing bled, and I had to put like 4 or 5 Band-Aids on it, and I was like, it just kept bleeding, and I know, it just, that shit, knuckles are bad, man, they're bad. So, out here, and I'm not going to go into all this, because that's not the purpose of this video. Out here, I built my own first aid kit. I got blood clot packaging and spotting bunches and gauze from hell, and among a lot, because basically I'm here by myself. I'm pretty much bleed out before I find everything that's in here. Paper, pencil, write shit down, your last will and testament. I'm so fucking sorry, Martha. I didn't mean to, whatever you did. Please feed the cats, whatever. And I got this in bright green so people can see it. Or when you got a tourniquet, write down what time you put that tourniquet on with your Sharpie. Write it on your arm, write it on your leg, write it on your fucking forehead, for all I know. First aid is very involved. But the most simplest form, and the one that Electro made me think about, is duct tape. I have used duct tape I mean, so much have I used duct tape for bandages. I just call it a RedNeck Band-Aid. Hand me that duct tape, I done cut my arm off. This is Gorilla Glue duct tape. I would not suggest that. The reason I would not suggest it is because, well, it's really thick. It's a very thick duct tape, and it's also harder to tear. You're already bleeding. Luckily, you got an Electro pointed out a very, very, very good point. One arm, one hand closer, especially when you're bleeding on the other hand. But this stuff, hard enough to do with one hand. We'll just do it like that. This stuff is tough. What's good about duct tape is you can always tear it into strips. You need a little Band-Aid, You got a little Band-Aid, we're a Band-Aid. And we ain't just talking about duct tape. No, what you do here, and what I've done plenty of times over, is you take a tissue, toilet paper, a dirty cloth kitchen rag, if that's all you have to control the bleeding for a while. But take a tissue, tear off what you need. You know, make a Band-Aid out of it. Okay? Make a little cloth thing out of it. Put it on right there. Put it on right there. Put it on tight. There. Now you got a Band-Aid. And if the Band-Aid fails and it gets saturated with blood, well, as I mentioned before, because I've learned the hard way, don't take it off. No. Put another Band-Aid over it. Use your other strip of duct tape. There. It ain't pretty, but it works. Trust me. Now, I do not suggest Gorilla Glue duct tape. The reason being is, well, it's tough. It's Gorilla duct tape. This is a cheap, I don't know what kind it is, but this is a cheap duct tape. And it's very thin. Watch. Watch what I'm doing. I'm making a mess. Okay? You see what I'm doing here? And I'm doing this with one injured finger. So let's tear it. Okay? It tears easier. And when you're bleeding and you know, and it also tightens better. Remember the tightens? It also gets crumbled better, but that's okay. Do what you can do. But it's easier to deal with and to use and to make strips out of than, here, I made a strip. And yeah, it's garbage duct tape for most of anything else. Okay? So, that's the lesson of this story. But keep a small roll, a cheap roll, so it's easier to come off. And it makes a damn spiffy Band-Aid. And if you're not bleeding, you can always wipe your ass with it. Or blow your nose. And I wish to thank Captain Electro for bringing that up and causing me to think about it. Because thinking, your brain is your best weapon. And you use that, and you have a real good chance of survival. And on that note, I have to go now. I have not had any fucking tea yet, and I have nothing else for you. I gotta go. I'm terribly busy. We'll see you. Thanks for joining me. It's always a fucking pleasure. Ow. I hit my knee. Maybe I need first aid.